Can I react hard this time? What does react hard mean? You react like, oh my god, this changes everything. But that's not how I. But that's not how I react. I hope that's okay. I know I don't do like the OMG type of reacts. I kind of just comment on the things that I like. Sorry if my reactions are not on par. Hi YouTube, I just woke up. We're gonna watch the trailer that actually released today. I'm getting better at my introductions. Okay, let's watch.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Pentacle.
The Charmony Festival is here, and guests from all walks of life have arrived.
More updates right after the break.
Oh, we're watching on their TV.
Apply your color.
I really feel like I'm in one of those dystopian worlds. It's Sparkle? Acheron? Oh, that must be Sparkle.
Reality. Care to guess?
Are we gonna watch her fight everyone?
Dusk's reign, it too shall fall.
It's a new pose from Acheron.
What did you say?
Oh, Acheron must fight Blade first. I have a U6
Worst.
Is this trying to tell me to U6 my Acheron?
Our existence
Why
is
is
fleeting
Blade the
as
first
dawns
enemy?
do. Destined for oblivion.
Oh, she's even fighting Kafka. I guess it's just their style around
Waters of
hunters.
oblivion. I guide the wandering souls. I weep for the departed.
A silver wolf is gonna come in.
The gleam of old blades.
So she just read Blade and Kafka. Apply your color. I thought she was
I've
gonna.
seen her before.
Find me.
Whoa.
Find me. Your end, my origin.
Your and my origin?
All that is past. has
Oh, she's
returned.
taking out her real sword.
Just like tears. Eventually disappear in the rain. Don't look back. There is nowhere to go but forward.
She's applying her own monochrome colors to the world. I see the flashbacks to her. This part is pretty sick. And the shots are very cinematic. The Sparkle's mask is falling down.
Apply
Colors.
your color.
Find me.
Is it also her talking at the end? The voice at the very last part. That doesn't sound like her voice. Is it? The model on the TV. I was thinking the model might be like her past. It looks closer to what we saw in the other trailers. And the last voice doesn't sound like her, right? The voice is a bit different. If that was Robin, then is someone else actually telling her to find her? I will find you, alright, says Nick. Everyone will be trying to find her in their banner tomorrow at 40 seconds. What? It says self-annihilator. Wait, it does? Wow. It feels like it really blends in. Let me move this. It's right over on the right side. Let me go back and forth a bit if you can kind of see it. You can barely see it. It gets a bit clearer and then it slowly fades out. See if we can catch the same frame. It's like really faint though. That's really hard to see in Chinese. Maybe in the Japanese language. If I go back a couple of frames, you can kind of see the words. It's really hard though. Ian just has too many characters. I kind of like it in the CN and the JP though. It's more, it's like almost like a really hidden Easter egg. But then the English one, it's kind of hard to hide, like self-annihilator. There are too many letters, Ian leakers. Existence is nothing. When an organism has this thought and applies it as a guiding principle, it begins to walk on the path ruled by Ajax. That must have been Acheron, where she witnessed what happened to Izumo and Takamagahara, and then she recognized that their existence meant nothing. So they received a glimpse from the Aeon from some distant void, and this will usually have two outcomes. Maybe Doctors of Chaos? I don't know if it's implied they're also emanators. It seems to be two things though. It has two outcomes, it says, when you are given the glimpse. Either they will devolve and truly become nothing, becoming something called a self-annihilator, or it seems to be implied number two, the organism will be captivated by the magnificence of the Aeon, thus becoming a Doctor of Chaos in their spontaneous curiosity. Self-annihilators are a group that lost their meaning of existence when they carelessly stepped into Ajax the Nihility's shadow. They share one thing in common. Their various existential properties, such as corporeal body, mental cognition, and personal memories, will gradually fade away in their journey to self-annihilation. This does sound kind of reminds me of what's happening to Acheron. Mental cognition, personal memories, she does seem to be lacking. I don't know about corporeal body. Maybe a little bit. Literally Acheron, pretty much. Some self-annihilators have their skin turn into something like rotten wood, full of holes and scars. This is pretty much like Acheron when she turns into her white-haired version. If you think of her body as like turning into this, because she has like the red streaks and then her spine shows and then she has like flowers growing. Some have their endocrine system disrupted. Some lose their memories, others lose their senses. It is as if they've been deprived of the meaning of their life by some entity and can only keep watching in dreams and illusions as their own form disappear into a black hole at the end of the horizon. However, some self-annihilators would conceive the idea of fighting back. They join the Doctors of Chaos, vowing to do their best to cure others of nihility and what little time they have left in exchange for their own redemption. So I guess it could be a self-annihilator and then turn into a Doctors of Chaos. Moreover, some of them rely on their strong convictions to try to break the curse of nihility by slaying the Aeon that slumbers in the abyss. Maybe that's going to be Acheron's story though. And that's why Walt is going to be involved in the story quest. Walt's gonna help Acheron come back from the nihility path. They're gonna have a quest together. Walt's gonna bring Acheron back. This kind of made sense in which Acheron jumps in between dreams. It does. A lot of reading the description and the wiki about the self-annihilator, maybe that's why Acheron is also on Penacony. Perhaps her goal, if we're assuming that she is also after the Watchmaker's legacy, either consciously or subconsciously, maybe she is like actually trying to save herself too. Or like someone is leading her, herself, her past self is calling out to her to go and find if the Watchmaker's, assuming the Watchmaker's legacy has powers. Maybe what Acheron's after is, she wants her old self back. She doesn't want to just... Because it seems like the end for self-annihilators is you will gradually fade away in their journey of self-annihilation. I'm guessing either she herself doesn't want to fade away or like a fragment of her memories of her past self doesn't want to fade away. So she's on a quest to try to not fade away. And that's why in this trailer we see herself calling out to herself. And maybe the Walt story quest in 2.1 will be also kind of like saving him, trying to guide our self-annihilator Acheron back before it's too late. Not here, she's gonna get hit by the car, and then she's gonna get an achievement, and then she's gonna wake up. This is like when we first go to Penacony, and then we get hit by the car, and then we get our achievement. Her reflection in the car? Her reflection in the car? She has the white hair! Ah, I see! I thought at first it was Robin, but no, it's just her white hair version. So she herself... Does that mean we're seeing a different version? She's been disguised. Sparkle turned her into a different form that we see. Her true self is reflected in the car. It looks like G-Man. Wait, kind have done stream and also has the white hair. That's true. Watch this frame at each. You watch this video at each frame is worth it. Maybe we'll take a look at the each frame. Our general. Moments before he gets deleted, it does kind of look like Jimin. I can see his like ponytail on the side too if you look hard enough. Cameo. These shots look really sick. Yeah, it feels like here she's slashing because she realized she was still inside Sparkle's illusion. Maybe that's the significance of the car. In the beginning, we see the car as normal. It reflects her purple hair self. And then, even though she finished the fight with Acheron and not with Acheron, with Blade, Kafka, and Silverwolf, she comes out and she says she sees the car has the wrong reflection, and she knows Sparkle is still messing with her. So then she brings out her true blade and then she slashes the illusion apart. And then she returns to the raining world that she was in at the very beginning. I just had a thought. What if this is actually Robin Acheron? Robin talking to Acheron in Acheron's voice, and Robin is like representing the Watchmaker's legacy. I feel like it could be Robin actually calling out to Acheron. Like Robin calling out to Acheron pretending to be her old form. Because we don't know much about Robin. She could be a representation of the family or the Watchmaker's legacy. She does seem kind of mysterious. I feel like it could be. Robin saying, "Find me. I promise I can bring you back to your true self." But it could be a lie for all we know. What if it's Robin baiting her?
Find me.
The voice at the end, "Find me." So it feels like she could just have been lured here by like this voice that sounds like Robin. It does really sound like Robin in the end. And it appears to be her past self looking for her future self, but maybe it's like a bait. Yeah, Robin might not be actual Robin. It could be like the Watchmaker, could be the family using Robin's face. Whole trailer. This trailer is about Acheron is trying to reclaim herself, her past self. We see her past call out to her, and maybe she's on Penacony to seek. Oh, I spelled Watchmaker wrong. Watchmaker's legacy. To stop herself from walking down the path of annihilation. Welcome back, Karans. Annihilate. How do you spell annihilator? Annihilator. Annihilator. I can't spell annihilator. I was pretty close. Annihilator. It's okay, as long as people know what I'm talking about. And then I think my second theory is Acheron is actually being lured to Penacony. The voice we hear calling out to her, and the past self we see is the... At first I thought the stroller was about Acheron trying to find her past self. But then, it feels like Acheron doesn't actually want to find her past self, especially with how confident she says, "Don't look back. There's nowhere to go but forward." Since she seems like happy with where she is currently. Don't look back. There's no way to go but forward. I feels like she's not looking. A part of me feels like she doesn't actually want to find her past self. And this is my interpretation of our trailer. And then there's like the secret part about Robin and what Robin is actually doing. We see Acheron walking in the real world. Though it's raining, so it's probably not the real world. And then we see her reflection. They specifically show us the reflection in the very beginning. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it was right where the car goes over here.
Apply your color.
Was it? I think it was that quick part. Where this car quickly drives past her.
Apply.
But we see it in this reflection here. that her hair color is purple. Her hair color is purple in the first scene. And then we see Sparkle come in.
Your
The
color.
goldfish. And Sparkle is here to whisk her in. The Sparkle. She closes her eyes and she opens them. And then she goes into the world where there's no rain. And we see the fish just swimming. And so here she thinks she's only in one illusion.
Care to guess?
Either way, dusk's reign, it too shall fall.
And here's where we see the annihilator. The self-annihilator word reflected in the back.
What did you say?
Why don't you talk some sense?
Do your worst.
Make this a bit bigger.
Our existence is fleeting as dawn's dew, destined for oblivion.
And here she fights the Sparkle created
Waters of
illusion.
oblivion, I guide the wandering souls. I weep for the departed. Stream forth the gleam of old blades. Restore this lost memory.
And I hear one interesting part was this part where she had hands were covering her face. At first we thought it was Sparkle's hands covering her face. Because I remember, I think in Sparkle's trailer, there was a scene where hands were covering Sparkle's face. But here we see it's actually Acheron's hands covering her face.
Apply your color.
And I hear she seemingly wakes up. So it's almost like she thinks, did you break out of the illusion? But then the car drives past. And then you can see her reflection in the car is different than the one we were shown in the beginning. Here her hair color is white. So I think that's where I was saying we see Acheron walking in the real world. We see her color in the first car is purple. And then Sparkle whisks her away to her illusion. She fights everyone and then she comes out of the illusion. But then she realizes she's still in an illusion because the color is not correct.
I've seen her before.
Find me. Find me. Your end.
And then this May talking on the billboard. I feel like it's Robin or the family talking to her. It's like the third party.
Just like tears.
Here she's breaking out of
Disappear in the rain.
the actual illusion created by Sparkle.
Don't look back. There is nowhere to go but forward.
That speed drop is really sick. And then she returns to the world that she was in at the very beginning part of the trailer where it was raining. And then we see the Sparkle mask also fall down and disappear. So it's like she finally actually got out of the real Sparkle illusion. But there's like something else going on here with the Robin and the TV and the ad. And this voice calling out to her.
Apply your color.
Lots of people talk, but they're not listed. Is it because it's Blade? But it's not actually Blade. It's Sparkle. Blade does talk, but I can see Blade not being listed because it was Sparkle's illusion, right? So you can kind of say it's technically all Sparkle. Well, it wasn't. Though VA-wise, I feel like it wasn't actually Sparkle's VA imitating Blade's VA. It's probably actually Blade Kafka VA talking. So maybe if you think about it that way, this Robin could be Robin, even though her name wasn't listed. I think this was pretty much my interpretation of the current trailer. Acheron was walking in the real world. We see her reflection, and then Sparkle whisks her away. She seemingly breaks out of the illusion at first, but then she discovers she's still in the illusion because she sees her reflection again when another car passes by and her hair color is white. So then we get the sick beat drop slash, where she shatters the actual sparkle illusion and she goes back into the real world. And then there's like the theories about who is talking to her. Is it herself? Is it Robin? Is it the family? I think that's where we have the two. I was discussing the two theories. One where Acheron's trying to reclaim her past self, and maybe it's actually her past calling out to her. So she's coming to Penacony to seek the Watchmaker's legacy to stop herself from disappearing. Because we learned earlier, self-annihilators eventually disappear. And then my second theory, which kind of makes more sense to me, because I feel like Penacony has a lot of secrets. So I feel like Acheron is actually being lured to Penacony, or someone mentioned earlier it could be like a cry for help too. Maybe Robin or someone on Penacony is calling out for help, and then they baited they invited Acheron, they told Acheron to come over. But then maybe the Duke, the part where Acheron kills Duke was just like a drive-by. Oh, and maybe I think one interesting article I found, I think this one, where they talk about the Aeons, related entry the Nihility, and why she might have killed Duke, Inferno. I recall a story about the Nihility. Some people had once tried to assassinate Ajax. Those were the Annihilation Gang. Trash who were too scared to join the Legion but still wanted to wreak havoc with Nanook. They had a mad idea about wanting to be the first humans to kill an Aeon. They thought Ajax might be easy to handle because the Aeon is peaceful and thinks there is no purpose to the universe, paths, and life. Apparently, with the assistance of another Aeon, they really did launch their plan to assassinate Ajax. As expected, nobody heard from this gang ever again. The story is pretty much pointless except for this. The Aeon that helped the Annihilation Gang was Aha the Elation. Aha thought these people had a fun idea, so they lent these humans their power for a while. Maybe that's why Sparkle is in here too. There is an Annihilation Gang. This might be one of the reasons why Duke Inferno got chopped. Ajax doesn't like a Nanook. They tried to kill him in the past, or factions that were following Nanook tried to kill Ajax in the past. And then Aha joined in for the fun. So maybe this is why Sparkle is also in here. Sparkle joined in for the fun. And Nanook doesn't even like the Annihilation Gang. The Annihilation Gang is like the wannabe destruction. They're just factions who want to be followers of Nanook, but they're not quite there yet. The Annihilation Gang has never earned their Aeon's gaze, an objective they're still attempting to fulfill. Not all fanatical devotees are welcomed into the Antimatter Legion. There are many murderous species obsessed with pillaging and annihilation, but they lack the ability to systematically pursue the will of destruction. Even the databank refers to them as scumbags. The scumbags of the Annihilation Gang fantasize about one day serving as the pioneers of destruction, but they have no idea that their cruelty only incurs Nanook's utter contempt for them. It feels like the Annihilation Gang, after thinking about it a bit, they would be good followers of Ajax. Eventually, one day, I think they will all awaken and realize their whole life mission is all meaningless. Because in their process to seek recognition from Nanook, they're only walking further to anger him, or having him feel more contempt. Getting him to feel more contempt. So then eventually, maybe that's why they try to take down Ajax. It all makes sense now. I don't think it's actually pronounced, it's either Ix or Ajax. I think both are. Some people do call Ajax or X9, but I think the English VAs, and I think in CN, other languages, they usually refer to as X or Ajax. I don't think anyone in the official trailers ever referred to it as a 9.
2 hours later.
Hi YouTube, welcome to the 9ception cooked up by Sweetly and Sweetizens today in chat are 9ception about the conspiracy theories that Hoyoverse has been cooking this since the beginning of the game. Number 1, World 9 Izumo, which I think, as we know, references Acheron's homeworld. It's a grade 2 set for Acheron. It's World 9. Acheron also has 9 stacks. In order to ulti, she needs 9 charges. And the third point, which I found really interesting, she's actually the 9th character to release in the game. The 9th Nihility character. She releases on March 27th. 27 divided by 3 equals 9. And your color, if you're wondering where that's from, that's the name of our trailer today. It's also 9 characters. Her trailer released at 9 p.m. PST, and Huang Quan, her Chinese name, if you type it out in the pinging, it's 9 characters. And Raida Mei is also 9 characters. And patch 2.1 is actually the 9th patch of Star Rail. Starting from 1.0, 2.1 is the 9th patch. And number 9, last but final point. Everyone will surely get Acheron on the 9th pity. Definitely not the 90th pity. Or the 9th temple. Surely we'll have to check back on the viewer poll video to see how that goes, if that's true or not. But this is which had cooked up today after watching and concluding from all the signs. We connected all the stars and all the constellations together. This must be where I Went to Lose got this whole armpit thing from. I never noticed it until we watched that one video, but I Went to Lose. And now I just keep seeing her armpits everywhere. I never even noticed that was like a thing, but I can kind of see it, especially in this. Robin's colors. Robin also has the 3 dots. And Robin... Oh, that's not Robin. Let's move this over here. This is Robin. Not quite the Robin. Fake Robin. Hey, at this point, Bobbin. It's pretty close. You're right, chat. It's Bobbin. Wait, we're looking for Robin, but Robin turned into Bobbin